Hello everybody, this is Elissa
And this is Suzy
from Menck Arts and Crafts, and today we have a WIP Chat for you. So WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat is where we're just gonna chat. And it's a special one because you've got myself, Elissa, and you've got my mother, Suzy, and because I'm on vacation in Florida, and I figured what better time than to introduce somebody new to the world of diamond painting than when I'm on vacation visiting my mom. Oh, let me set my timer so I don't forget what time it is. I always forget to do this. All right. That way I don't go over time, especially since I can't even see my camera with our funky angle. We get interesting with our setup right now. So, yes, I'm on vacation in Florida visiting my parents, and yeah, we had to get creative with our setup because I'm like, I'm not hauling all of my, I got my phone and I got my diamond painting supplies, but I'm not bringing all the things with me. So we are introducing my mom to diamond painting today. So we just spent the last, I don't know how long getting, how long?
Shall we say almost 2 hours?
We spent however long getting all set up, teaching her how to kit up. We got her all kit up in baggies. We have just a couple Amazon paintings from my stash. I'm doing one that reminds me. This looks like a Mokoli-E, which is Chinaman's hat for all of you that aren't used to the actual term. So I'm doing a landscape kit. And my mom is doing this one that I absolutely love, which is like a bamboo water drop scene. So basically like a classic scene from any Japanese garden that you've ever seen. But a couple Amazon kits that we are working on today. We have like all the things set out on this table. So our supplies that we are using today, we have, let's see, I am using orange creamsicle, Randa's, orange creamsicle of the putty, and this is patty wax. That's what I'm doing. I don't know why I said putty. Orange creamsicle patty wax. My mom is using.
I'm using hot fudge brownies
from patty wax. And then our pens, I'm probably going to use this one the whole time. I'm trying out the 10 placer from Diamond Art Club, and this is going to be a Enabler's Outpost pen, and my mom has a variety of pens to try out to see what she likes. This gorgeous one is from Diamond Pen Pal, and then she also has a beautiful Leopard Leatherworks pen to try out, and then there's a whole lot of other pens for her to try out as well to see what she likes. So there's a Jim's Handmade Pen Shop, a Paint Gem, and 3 more pens from Enabler's Outpost to see what she likes. And then you can't even see in front of her. We've got like 4 or 5 different brands of putty, a whole lot of putty that, because, you know, I didn't know what we would like, so I just brought it all. So, you know, all the things.
I think she has a problem.
We know I have a problem. We know that. That's not new. And then, of course, like all of the different pen tips, all the things. And then for trays, we have, I didn't know which size she would like. So there's our trays from my unboxing that we saw. So, you know, there are our trays.
What? Oh, can I have got to say something.
That was hilarious.
My husband came in, saw this hot fudge brownie sitting on the table and went, "Ooh, a brownie." Like, can I eat it?
I specifically had to tell him that's not food.
Exactly.
You cannot eat that.
The man lives for sugar.
So we are going to go ahead and get into it. This will be her first time ever actually putting diamonds down on a canvas. We just put our putty and our wax in our pen. So you are going to go ahead and pick which color you want to work with.
I picked my color.
All right. So now you are going to pour your color into whatever tray you would like to use. You don't want to pour, depending on how many it is, you may not want to pour all of them in. But you want to pour a little bit more than that.
There's some weird colors in here.
Yeah, they're interlopers. They like to, they're hitchhikers. I poured a lot in there. And then you kind of want to shake the tray to get them to lie in like nice straight rows. You'll get the feel for what like works well for you for shaking. I do like a little tiny jiggle tray. A little jiggle. Jiggle, jiggle.
So is there a right side and a wrong side?
Mom. Oh, for the drills? Yes. I didn't know what you were asking. Sorry, Mom. There's a top and a bottom. The top is rounded. The bottom is flat. So, yes, there is a top and a bottom. Yes. And then you peel back the corner of your plastic, and you can use your cover minder there. Remember, slide it so that way it stays with its magnet. And then you can slide the plastic underneath it. And that'll hold the plastic out of the way. And then you can start painting where you want it. We don't do sectioning in this household. That's just overrated. We like to chase our colors. So, anyways, I will kind of give a little brief overview of my week prior to getting out here to Florida, because we all know it was a busy week. Basically, I was working. So last time I talked, like it feels like, what did I even do? So, gosh, what did I even do? Let's see, I worked. What do you need?
Oh, I'm just looking at just this C looked like a different color than that one.
Could
But,
be.
you know.
Painting or color variations are for real. And things aren't always exact. So, and I'm working flat today. I did bring my easel, which is set up over on the actual, like, table. This is just, like, the entertainment center table, I guess you could call it. I don't know what you would call this. But I did bring my easel, so that's what I've been doing for my actual regular diamond painting. I've been working with my small easel, which I shoved in my suitcase to bring with me. But anyways, so where did we leave off with my last WIP Chat? It feels like it's been forever. I had a couple days, well, I had the weekend of like, basically last weekend I had to frantically like pack everything on the weekend and do all of the cleaning of the house, because you know, is anybody else like me? I guess it's because of you trained me this way.
You clean your house before you leave.
Exactly.
So that when you come back, it's clean and you don't have to worry about it.
Or so the people house sitting for you, I don't have to like house sit in a dirty house. That's really the only reason that I cleaned. I don't care if I come back to a messy house, but I couldn't have my house be messy for my house sitter, i.e. my pet sitter. I couldn't have the house be dirty for her when she's watching my girls.
That's
so,
like,
that was the only reason I actually cleaned, because I don't care if my house is dirty.
is that like cleaning before your house cleaner comes?
Oh no, I would totally not clean. If I had a house cleaner, I would not be cleaning my house. Anyways, so I spent Sunday kind of cleaning the house, getting everything ready, packing, because Monday I was at work from, I got there because I had duty, like my really long work shift where I'm at the hospital basically for 24 plus hours straight. So I got to work at 6:30 on Monday morning, and I didn't go home until Tuesday at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And like I was working, getting ready for this massive inspection that we have until like midnight. I had duty, but then I was also doing extra work stuff, so I didn't go to bed Monday until after midnight. And then was working straight through on Tuesday, and then I finally went home at 4 o'clock so I could continue getting ready for the inspection. I went home at 4 o'clock because that's when my vacation started, because I put my vacation time to start at like 4:01 on Tuesday afternoon. So I was like, I am out of here. I need to go pack up my electronics because I have to leave for the airport at 7 p.m. so I can be on the way to, because that was like, I had to leave for the airport Tuesday at 7 p.m. Because it was a red-eye flight, which worked So I was operating on very little sleep. Drove to like the 2-ish hours to the airport on Tuesday night. Had that lovely red-eye flight. Like, basically slept like half the red-eye flight. And then Wednesday, had a layover in Charlotte. Got like a smoothie for lunch, or for breakfast, because I got in at like 6 a.m. in Charlotte. And then kind of like napped a little bit while I did my layover, and then did my flight from there to Tallahassee. And then my mom picked me up, and off we got some lunch. I think the only thing really on the way from there home quickly and easily that we could grab, because I was exhausted, was Zaxby's. We stopped at Zaxby's and got some food, and I got some sweet tea, which I needed some sweet tea, because that helped to kind of like rejuvenate me, and I haven't had a chance to have real sweet tea in forever, because, you know, try getting sweet tea in the high desert of California, it just is not a thing. But I needed the sweet tea, but I was operating on fumes, you guys. And then the slave driver over here has been putting me to work ever since. So, yes. What?
I'm going to try
That one?
this one,
Okay.
because it's got like,
Yeah, the 3 placers.
yeah, that, whatever.
So, yes, the slave driver has been putting me to work ever since. That has been my week.
Paybacks.
Paybacks.
How many years have we spent helping you remodel houses? You know. But yeah.
So yes, but it's been good. We've been doing a hurricane cleanup, all of the trees that have been down. We have been cleaning up, burning all of the treetops and all of the branches, cutting them into pieces, because they live on a really narrow road. So you can haul all of that stuff to the road and FEMA will come and dispose of it for you. But you have to get it to the road, and they have a really long driveway. So you have to get it to the road. So that's half the battle. And it's like, it's actually easier to just chop it, and at least the stuff that's up by the house, it's easier to just chop it and drag it to like burn it than it is to try to like haul all of that stuff over to like down this really, really long driveway to a really narrow road to be able to burn it, or to be able to have FEMA pick it up. So that's what we've been doing. But yes, it has been busy. They have been putting me to work. Hardcore work. And then we've also been organizing the chaos inside the coach, because it was basically like, there's a hurricane coming, we need to just load and go. So the chaos happened inside the coach as well. So I've been helping with that. And my dad is one of those people that he sees a flat surface and it's like, oh, there's nothing on this flat surface, I must put something here, whether it goes there or not. Stuff. Boom. He's a flat surface stuff accumulator.
Totally flat surface stuff accumulator.
Yes.
Well, there was nothing there.
Yeah, it doesn't mean something needs to be there.
It looked lonely.
Anyways, that has been... Oh, as I drop, I'll have to pick that up before the girls get it. So, the girls are RUBY, and she's the younger girl. She's the younger girl and the bigger girl. And then the ESSIE, I can't say their names because they are currently happily laying there sleeping. And if I say their names, they will be all like, what? You said my name. Here I am. Here I am. And kind of like, and then they will no longer be quiet and sleeping. But those are the girls. They are 2 happy-go-lucky mini golden doodles. Happy girls. How old are they now?
We call them Uno and Dos. Uno is the first one we had, is the little one. She is 4, almost 5.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be
She'll be
5 in November.
Yeah, that's right.
And Dos is
baby,
2.5.
The baby. Yeah, because she's younger than Mochi, isn't she? Yeah,
Yes.
you got her after I got Moch.
Yep, I did. We had to get the number 1, a puppy.
After I got my kitten back. After I got my kitten.
Absolutely.
Because she was so bereft when Mochi left. Because when I got Mochi, my mom and dad actually ended up driving all the way from, because they were still living in Kentucky at the time, so they ended up driving all the way from Kentucky to North Carolina to pick up Mochi for me. And then they had to go through, and this was actually during COVID time, so they ended up having to go through the, it was basically about, that was what, was it May or June that you picked her up? Was it May? Late May, early June?
I'm not sure.
It was somewhere either May or June. And then I didn't get her until October. So it's about 5 months. I think because I knew it was just shy of 6 months. So it was about 5 months that they had Mochi for me before I got her. And that was because Hawaii has such strict rules when it comes to importing pets. And they have such strict regulations. And that's because Hawaii is a rabies-free island. So Mochi had to have all of her rabies stuff in order and everything. So my mom was doing all of that stuff for me. So number 1, little E, she was oh my goodness, totally in love with Mochi. The two of them played so hard. They were ridiculous together, those two. They were just too funny. And then I felt so bad because that was Mochi's expectation of a dog was Essie. That was her expectation of a dog. And then she comes to my house and she gets Mylan. And she's expecting to play. And she gets Mylan, and Mylan is
grump, grump, grump.
Grump, grumble. I'm not gonna play with you. What do you want? Get away from me.
Get away from my food.
Don't look at my food dish. You are too close to my food dish. You are within 10 feet of my food dish. Walk away. Walk away, little cat. You are within the border. Move away. Grumble, 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 gripe. So funny. So, Mochi will have a blast with the kitten because the kitten will definitely play with her. So I think she will be happy. Because the shenanigans these two would get into when she was at the house with my parents. Oh, the shenanigans. But anyways, so
this takes way too much concentration.
Once you get into it, it really doesn't take that much concentration.
Okay. I will trust you. Where did you come from?
See, I kind of get into the glow of it, and I like it because for me, it's mindless, and there is no concentration. Because I'm just I just look for that color, and I lay it down, and I don't even have to think about it. But this is her first time ever doing it. Granted, the first time I ever did it, I did have to think about it. But again, this is your first time doing it, so you have to think a little bit the first time you do it. Yeah, I just do it as a pattern recognition.
I haven't gotten that point yet.
But yes, this is her first time diamond painting, you guys. First time! But she hasn't given up yet. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I got what?
Hey, that's not bad for your first time
got
doing
an
it.
inch, 2 inches done.
Hey, your first time painting. Diamond painting. Not your first time painting, though, because obviously not first time painting.
No.
Considering you are an artist.
Yeah.
So, tell me, what is it like living in an RV full time?
The biggest adjustment is you can't have stuff. If you are a collector of anything, you just might as well forget living in an RV. Because when you have like 240 square feet, every inch counts. But it's easy to clean. It really makes you appreciate how little you really need, and that you can be happy without all the stuff. You know, all the stuff from, you know, that you're cooking. You know, it's like I love to cook, and I had all the things, and I don't need all the things, and I can make some pretty decent meals, you know, with just my minimal appliances and whatever you call it, accoutrements.
This one of the things that I noticed? Like, obviously, I've never lived in an RV, but like, I've been deployed. I've like lived in small spaces many times, and that was one of the things that I've noticed is, you know, you spend 2 years living in Japan with, you know, only a fraction of your household goods because the rest of them are in a storage unit back in the States, because you weren't allowed I was only allowed to bring like a small fraction of what I had, and I was living in, you know, what's called bachelor officers quarters, so basically like a pre-furnished apartment, and I could bring like a small tiny fraction of what I owned with me, but none of my furniture, and it was basically, you know, I'm just limited on what I could bring with me. And after the 2 years living there, I was like, you know, I don't even really, there's some things that I have that I miss, but the majority of my stuff I didn't miss. And I'm like, okay, if I don't miss it, do I really need it? No. So yeah, when I got back from living in Japan, I ended up purging a whole lot of stuff, because I was like, I haven't used this stuff in 2 years. Do I really need it? Like, I didn't miss it. It literally sat in storage for 2 years. Do I need it?
I totally agree. Yeah. My biggest issue is not having a studio, not having my designated studio. I had, I don't know, maybe the whole upstairs was probably close to 1,200 square feet of studio space.
Oh, yes. I was going to say, like, your art studio was, like, time and time again the size of this entire coach.
Yes. Yes. But
you would have, like, an entire space the size of this coach that would be dedicated to oil painting. Another one the size of this coach for watercolor.
Definitely. But it's different.
As I get putty all over. It's one thing I have to adapt to with this 10 placer, because it's so much bigger than I'm used to with this. I feel like is this just a 10 or is this like the 12? No, that's the 10. It feels bigger than a normal 10. Anyways, I'm getting putty on my canvas where I don't normally, because it's just slightly bigger.
One of the really cool things I think about living in an RV is being outside more.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you're outside. The girls love being here at our property, because we just open the door, we go outside, and they can run and run and run. Whereas when we're traveling and we go to RV parks, or wherever we stay, they have to be on leash, and we take them to the dog park, which some dog parks are like 10 feet wide and 12 feet long.
Yeah.
And the girls look at us like, okay, and we're supposed to do what in here?
It's like, Mom, can we go somewhere and run? I want to go outside.
Exactly. So we take them. So when we're down, we'll go down by Fort Myers and actually, there's a it's Venice Beach, which is a really, really, really nice dog park and dog beach. And we'll take them there. Essie loves, loves, loves to run off leash. Ruby is like, I will eat the dog. I will eat the dog because it might eat me, so I'm going to eat it first. But she's doing much better. You know, you saw how she is. Something touched her foot and she's freaking out like, oh my gosh, it's going to eat me.
She's a scaredy dog.
Yeah.
She's a wimp. She's a little wimp. She's a wussy dog.
Yeah, she is. But she's my wussy dog. She's my baby.
Yep. Oh, I love those greens.
So do I.
It's a really pretty colors.
I love this. And the pen goes right with it. And this pen just looks to me like water.
Yeah. And you don't have to like fill all of those with frills. Like you can literally use two.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, but I couldn't
do it with the big one because it was just awkward.
I started with 3-placer is how I started. So like that's literally the first multi-placer pen that I started with was that pen right there. The paint gem pen, because that was the first licensed kit that I ever did was a paint gem kit, because I didn't know about Diamond Art Club or any of the other companies when I did that. But yes, so
I'm slow, but
you are also doing your first ever diamond painting, so everybody does diamond painting at a different speed. Not everybody is speedy like me. I also am not a perfect placer, so I'm like, okay.
Well, neither am
place
I.
to go.
I'm like, okay, how do you make it move? They're crooked. It bothers me. You would think as an artist that wouldn't bother me, you know, but yes, it bothers me.
I'm all about like put them down and move on. So yes. Anyways, let's see. We will chat a little bit about my diamond painting update stuff, and then we will move on to whatever other random things we want to chat about. But I want to make sure I get that into the conversation, and then we will go back to random, like, whatever. What? Laughing at me.
Of course I laugh at you.
Always
That's my job. I am your mother.
Yes. My family is always laughed at me. They have made it their like life goal to make my life miserable and laugh at me as much as they possibly can.
But see, if we didn't love you, we wouldn't do it. Yeah, right.
These jokers and my brother, they like all through middle school and high school, it was like their goal between my mom and my brother. My dad usually it wasn't his goal, but between my mom and my brother, they did not believe it was a successful dinner unless one of the two of them, my mom and my brother, who's my older brother by the way, had somehow over the course of dinner made me spew some kind of food or beverage out of my nose. And let me tell you, cake coming out of your nose is excruciatingly painful. It is painful. It is not pleasant.
See, now that's her perspective. My perspective is, our goal was not to make her do that, but it was just a bonus, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have somebody who has your sense of humor, as is Joseph, we just kind of fed off each other, and you could just look at each other, and there you go. We knew what was coming next, and so yeah. So
and poor me, I was the brunt of it all.
I'm sorry. Did I damage you?
I don't know. Maybe that's why so many issues with breathing. Destroyed my nasal passageways.
Okay, well,
in my childhood. It's all your fault, Mom. It's all your fault.
Oh, yeah, well, deal.
Oh, woe is me.
Deal. If it didn't involve blood, it's all right.
Right. Anyway.
I sound terrible, don't I? I sound terrible. I'm like the worst mom in the world. But I'll tell you what, you don't ever mess with my kids. Because,
So she'll go for blood.
Oh, you better believe it.
Anyways, so diamond painting wise, I have been really good this week, you guys. I've actually been doing really good and not purchasing any kits so far. Like the last kit that I purchased, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before that I talked about it. The last time I purchased a kit was the Enablers Outpost Pumpkin Kitty kit. I have not purchased a kit since then. So I have been doing good. I'm pretty pleased with myself. So I'm holding out pretty well. I can guarantee you that I am going to be purchasing some. I haven't seen anything so far. I haven't looked to see what all the rest of the releases, because I'm filming this on Friday afternoon so I can get it up on Saturday morning. So I haven't looked to see what and I'm on like East Coast time, not on West Coast time, and I'm used to West Coast time. So usually by the time I film these videos, all of like Diamond Art Club's sneak peeks are out for the week. But of course I'm 3 hours later or whatever. It's different timing wise. So I haven't even seen all of the sneak peeks, but so far I'm like, there's that one pastel pumpkin that's cute, but I'm like, it's not enough for me to be like, okay, I have to buy that. I'm like, I like it, but it's not one of those things where I'm like, okay, I love it, so I'm not gonna buy it. But so that's not something that I'm gonna purchase. But there are a couple kits that I know of that from Belle Art Diamonds that they're going to be releasing that are on my list, that you guys should have seen that I got to do a sneak peek for Belle Art Diamonds. So I have known what the kits are going to be for them for quite a while now, and there's been so many of them that were super, super cute, and so many of them that are adorable and like beautiful canvases. Like I was shocked to see the one that I got, Aphrodite, and there's a few other ones coming out that I'm like, those are some beautiful kits. And I will probably end up getting a kit or two from Bella Art Diamonds on Tuesday, in rounds of course, because you know me and my rounds. If it's offered in rounds, I will buy it in rounds. Because, rounds. It's my preferred. Will be rounds. But other than that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else on my must-purchase list for canvases. There's a couple shops that I'm still eyeballing that I want to buy from, but I'm waiting for, like, some new releases. Or waiting for specific kits, that type of thing. I know that Enablers Outpost has been sneaking couple more kits that they plan to release soon that I'll probably go for, and I'm debating if I want to take advantage of the sale from Lazy River, which she's having a sale this weekend, you guys, so take advantage of that from Steph's sale. So lots of good stuff going on, but I have not bought anything yet, so been holding good.
That's impressive.
I know, right? We'll see if I survive tomorrow morning without purchasing any more Enablers Outpost pens. That's gonna be the true test. Because Elizabeth was sneaking some mystery bags with a pen included, and I'm like, I'm a sucker for these Enablers Outpost pens. They're just too pretty. And especially that new like glitter. I was showing my mom the new glitter and design of these pens. I was showing her that today too. So yeah, we will see. She was like, how many pens do you have now? And I'm like, a lot. I have a lot of pens.
Yeah. Well, I can't talk because, I have a lot of paintbrushes.
Right.
It's just your tools.
And I'm not that way when it comes to my Chinese brush painting though. which is kind of the funny part, because my Chinese brush painting, I kind of have like my brushes that I use. I'm very picky on my brushes, and I'm like, I'm very particular on those brushes. And if it's not a very particular style of brush or whatnot, I'm like, yeah, no. So I'm very picky on those brushes. So yeah. Anywho, how's it going over there, Mom?
I don't know. I'm making progress. I actually feel like I can go faster doing singles.
A lot of people start with single placing. I started single placing because I didn't know that there was multi-placing. Like, didn't even get the feel for it, so I was like, I started with single placing. Flip this sucker around. So do the other side of the canvas. And some people, they will single place entire canvases. That's just what they do.
Well, I've made that far.
Yeah, you've made good
I need
progress.
to reload my tray.
Yeah, if you start finding that it's tricky to do, you go ahead and reload it. That turned out really nice.
Yeah.
She did this beautiful, like, massive canvas for commission for someone of these, like, 5 horses running in, like, the surf, like the edge of the beach, and she painted it
In the RV?
in the RV, which is crazy. Super crazy that she did it while she was in the RV. But it's like, now that they've been living in the RV, I'm like, you know what? When I moved to San Diego, fruit fly. When I moved to San Diego the second time, I was like, after living in Japan, I was so tempted. Like, if I hadn't been going to the ship, I was like researching up the wazoo to live in a boat. Like, I wanted to live in a boat so bad. And I like was so close to doing it, but then I realized, I'm like, I'm gonna be gone all the time. Do I really want to do this when I'm gonna be gone like all the time? But I was so tempted to live in a boat, and I really wanted to live in a boat. So I think when I leave California this time around and go to my next duty station, I really am probably going to end up living in a RV. Especially since my parents live in one. And I will most likely end up being fairly close to them with where I end up, as long as everything goes the way it's supposed to, which things could change, but fingers crossed. So yes, I am really leaning towards the living in an RV myself. I'll have to put, like, you know, some of my stuff that I do not plan on getting rid of in storage, but I will do, really leaning towards doing that. And if anything breaks on my RV, I know a great mobile RV repair technician.
Absolutely.
Just give him an excuse to come visit me. I.e. my dad, for any of you that don't know.
Yep.
Because, how did you phrase it, Mom? When you said talking to someone else? It's like he trained his...
Oh, yes. For the last 2 jobs, he's trained as an IT professional. And so the last 2 jobs he had, they outsourced their entire IT department. And we're talking major, huge companies.
Mm-hmm.
They outsourced their entire IT departments to India, and he had to train his replacements. And he said, I'm not doing this anymore. Let me do something else. And I've always wanted to own my own business. What can I do? Because we're going to be traveling in an RV. Oh, let me go to school, become an RV tech. And that's what he did.
And he's loving it.
Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, so that's what he does now. And so by training, because he went to school back before computers were really a separate degree, so his actual degree is electrical engineering.
Yes.
So, you know, he's got that going for him, and he's, you know, technically also an IT engineer.
Yes.
So it's like with all of his education and everything that he's done, like, he's ridiculously smart and problem solves all the things. So yeah. Boom, boom. Oh, I just love that green. It's such a pretty green.
It is gorgeous.
Which one are you doing? Which symbol is that? C?
C.
Which bag is it?
That one?
9. What DMC is it say over there?
Oh,
What is the
okay.
color that goes with 9?
907.
Okay. 907. One of these days, I want to take like a DMC chart with all of the colors laid out, and I want to like figure out what DMC color my car is. Because my car is one of these like funky greens. I want to go figure out what color my car is in DMC colors.
Take this color and add some sparkle.
That's what I thought. I'm like, that's pretty doggone close to my car. Just it needs a little bit of a little subtle shimmer to it. Not an AB shimmer, almost like a cross between a fairy dust and an AB shimmer. And that's like the shimmery that my car has. Maybe like a metallic-y shimmer.
Yes.
Yeah, so kind of like take that and make it like a metallic drill. And that's my car. Yes, that's kind of the color car that I drive. Crazy, right? And I was like thinking, I'm like, what would I do when it's time to replace my car? Which I'm driving that car until it dies. Like, what will I do when it's time to replace my car? How do I follow up a car that's like fluorescent green, basically, with a boring car? Like, I can't just go to driving like a white car. How do I drive a white car or some boring colored car after driving essentially a fluorescent green car? I'm like, how do I do that? I can't do that. But what do I follow it up with? Like, and my car's name is Keto, because you have to name your car. So my car's name is Keto. How do I follow driving Keto up? How do I do that after? You know, I've already had that car for 10 years. How do I follow that up with something boring? These are the thoughts that enter my mind when I get in my car to go driving. What?
Oh, I was just thinking. I don't know how many times I would be when you were in on the boat or in and I would have your car in Kentucky, and I'd be driving somewhere, and somebody would be like, "That is such a cute car. That's a fun car."
It is a fun car.
Yeah, if you're gonna drive a car,
If you're gonna drive
make
a
it fun.
Yeah, it's like, because it's kind of like a funky looking car, kind of a funky style. And I'm like, if you're gonna drive a funky looking car, you gotta make it a funky color.
Yeah.
And it fits my personality too. It's just a fun little car.
Yeah.
It's a fun little car to drive.
Yep.
You gotta make it fun. It's like, cars should be fun. They shouldn't be boring.
I want an electric blue.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, what do I want as like my next car? Like,
I want a Jeep.
I've always wanted a Jeep. One of my girlfriends, she calls it the Barbie Jeep, because it is like this bright, it's like a metallic pink, but like a metallic, almost like a metallic hot pink Jeep. It is so fun. So it's like, it's kind of one of those things because, you know, you can always tell if one of the two of us is not at work, or if we are at work, or if we're parked in the wrong spot, because we have like the two most standout cars at the entire hospital. Her with her Jeep, and me with my bright fluorescent green Spark. I mean, we stand out with our two cars. I'm actually going, when I get back, like the following weekend, I'm actually doing like a Jeep ride with her. So there's like an entire culture around Jeeps.
Yes. Speaking of going somewhere like that, tomorrow we are going to the car show.
Ooh.
It's the Volkswagen.
Oh, that's
car
cool.
show.
I remember you told me about that, and I had
Yeah.
completely forgotten.
So we're going.
Okay.
we're going to the car show.
Ooh, I forgot about that because you sent me that, but I think you sent it to me when I was sleep deprived, so I forgot about it.
Yeah. It's Volkswagen, the Beetles, Super Beetles,
Okay.
vans.
I've always wanted an old Beetle camper van.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be the ultimate drive around studio.
Yes. Well, you have a studio sitting right behind here once it's up and going.
I know, but
they got like this amazing deal on this massive shed because it got a little damage from the hurricane. So they got like a steal on, what size is it? 12 by
20.
12 by 20 shed. So my mom is going to have her own she shed studio.
Yeah.
That it's sitting behind the RV right now. We just have to get the spot cleared for where it's permanently going to go that has a bunch of trees down right now. And then get it moved into place. Fix a couple, what are those?
There's
the rows of siding.
Yeah, there's a row of siding that got torn off. But
Fix a row of siding, and then boom, that's like really the only thing that's really wrong with it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, just the row of siding.
And then we'll just...
And you got it for like a fraction of what it would have cost to buy that thing new. Like a steal.
Less than a third.
Oh, yeah. A really, really good price. And then you got it hauled over here for a really good price too.
Yep.
Like small towns, y'all. Small towns.
Yeah. Totally.
And it's all in who you know in the small town too.
Yep.
If you know the right person, you can get all the things done. And they know the right people.
We're getting there.
I think you bought the land from the right person in the first place.
Yeah. And he's introduced us to
all the right people.
Other people, and this is just a really, really good community. That
yeah,
pulling together after the hurricane, and we live, we're out in the middle of nowhere.
Totally.
And there's just a few people on this street. It's a dirt road, single lane dirt road.
Single lane dirt road.
And the only reason it's maintained is because it's got a power line that runs along it. So they maintain the road.
Do you want to try this one with the angled tip?
Sure.
Like this? It's a nicer angled tip.
Okay, we'll try that. Has it got stuff in it?
Yeah, it's got stuff in it.
So the when the road was totally covered and blocked with trees after the hurricane, one of the neighbors just took his chainsaw and his tractor and started cutting trees and moving them out of the way. And it's like, oh, you need anything? So when we came in, there was no power when we came in to check on things, and my husband stopped back to see if the neighbor needed anything, and he was having some problems with his RV and with his generator, and he's just straightened everything out and got him on the right track. And so it's like if somebody needs something, that's what I so miss about how I grew up.
Yeah, because we grew up I grew up in the same house that my mom grew up in, which is small town, very small town in Michigan. Like, there were more people on the aircraft carrier than in my hometown. So really small town. And my mom has got such a massive family, like so many siblings, that like growing up, if I didn't know the person, like if they didn't know my family or my mom's family, then they knew somebody who knew the family, because it was such a small town. You knew everybody. And it's like, that's one of the things that's awesome about small towns like this, that everybody just pulls together and just kind of like works together for everything and just does it. And you can also, if you wanted to kind of like work like a little square like that, you can also like, that's when I'll like kind of fold it and cut into like a quarter.
Okay.
And kind of work in a quarter if you find it easier than pulling it back.
Well, there's
Just depends on how you want to work.
over
That's putty.
here.
You just
How do
scrape
you
it with
get-
your fingernail or you use tweezers.
fingernail. Which fingernail?
No, you just scrape. Scrapey.
Scrapey.
Scrape.
I don't. Like
Anyways.
it.
Well, we basically, my 50-minute alarm went off, which means we can start doing the wrap up.
Well, that's gonna stay there till because I can't. I
do
just
the
can't
same
want
thing.
to.
I
I
do
just
the same
can't
thing.
want to. It's probably when you put the pen over here, it fell off.
Sure. Blame it on me.
Of course.
Just gonna blame it on me now. That's how these things roll.
This is actually,
See, it's relaxing.
yeah.
I find it soothing, which is why I do the diamond painting.
Well, the thing is, the design is there already.
So you don't have to
So
think
you don't
to
have
do
to-
it.
You don't have to go through. Okay, now, what am I? How my
Yes.
composition? Everything is all taken care of for you,
Exactly.
and you're just placing the colors.
Exactly.
So,
So it's kind of like coloring, but coloring is annoying because you have to think about which color do I want to put. Because that is also stressful. When you're going to color something, you're like, well, what color do I want to do? What do I want to blend? What's going to look good here? So that's the part that usually gets me about doing like the adult coloring, which I'm like, why do you have to call it adult coloring? It's just coloring.
yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter whether you're an adult, you can still color.
Man, I'll take a children's coloring book and you work on that. It's
Yeah,
You know,
it's coloring.
it's
Like
your-
coloring is for everybody.
exactly
I
But
don't
we have-
discriminate with coloring,
right. You have to label everything.
right?
That's just,
Art is art.
exactly.
Equal opportunity art. Anyways. Boom. So, what are your thoughts on diamond painting?
My thoughts.
Yes.
Um,
Now that you've worked a little section, what are your thoughts and opinions for your first exposure to diamond painting?
I think it would be, let's see. My first thoughts were, okay, this is going to be so boring because, you don't have to do anything, but it's actually quite soothing. So you can feel like, you can talk and
Yep.
feel like you're accomplishing something at the same time.
Right? I'll throw
You know.
on, like, rather than sitting there and just aimlessly watching YouTube videos or whatever else,
Yeah.
you can be doing this while you're watching your YouTube videos. You could be chatting with dad while you're doing this. And, because, normally when your dad's trying to talk to you and you're painting or doing something else,
Did you say something?
you're like, can you not talk to me? I'm painting. So it's one of those things. That's what I like, is you could be productive and be doing something that's relaxing, yet at the same time, it's like you have a finished product. When you finish
Yeah.
something, you have a finished product. And what was also really cool is once you like pack everything up, it really doesn't take up much space. You saw how many of these suckers I brought with me and how much of this stuff I brought with me, and it didn't take up that much space.
Yeah.
Which is what's awesome because, space is a valuable commodity. So,
Absolutely.
Do you
And
think
it's not messy.
exactly. Like, yeah, you can get a little bit messy with the drills if you're me and you spill things all the time. But guess what? Vacuum.
But look at my hands.
Exactly.
They are still clean.
No paint on your hands.
No paint.
Yeah.
I don't have any paint on my face because I rubbed my nose or wiped my face with, yeah. I am not a clean painter. I get involved. I give it my all.
So, do you think we potentially have a potential convert to diamond painting in our midst?
I don't know. I'll finish this one.
And see how you feel after that?
Yeah, we'll do that.
I think we do. I think you'll enjoy it. It's relaxing and soothing. It's those times when you feel all stressed out from all the chaos and everything else.
Yeah.
spend 15 minutes diamond painting. You'll feel a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, but see, 15 minutes diamond painting, is that even possible?
It is. I don't know.
I was gonna say, have you just spent 15 minutes diamond painting?
Well, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. We got things to do, organization stuff to do, all that fun stuff.
I
But-
want to finish this.
I know, right? It's addictive, isn't it? Once you
There
get
we go.
started, you want to finish. Anyways, this has been a WIP Chat with Alyssa.
And Suzy.
We will see you guys. Well, I will for sure see you guys in the next video. Our next week, we will be doing a vlog because we will be driving to pick up the baby Sushi. So it won't be a WIP and Chat per se. It will be a vlog, driving chronicles style, little clips as we drive to pick up the baby. And that will be interesting, having the kitten for a day in the RV with the 2 hooligan dogs. That'll be interesting. But, and now they're awake. Ruby's like, Mom. Anyways, we will see you guys in the next week. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.
Bye.